What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another pre-game live stream and some breaking news here that could potentially impact the upcoming weeks leading up to the trade deadline, guys. Rob Pelinka has just been promoted to Vice President of Basketball Operations / GM. He got a raise, basically. He got a promo. And first off, I want to start with the positive. You know, he's earned it. We're the best team in the West for a reason. We're one of the better teams in the NBA. I mean, he took us from pretended to contended real quick. So, shout out to Rob Pelinka. He's earned this. But how does this impact the Lakers moving forward, man? I'm telling you, this is really going to stir up the pot, man. I think this video right here, I think we're going to discover some stuff, man. We're going to talk about some potential things that might go down because of this move and how, what is the timing of this move now before the trade deadline implement on the Lakers? Like, what does it mean? So I want to talk about that. Obviously how it's going to potentially impact the Kyle Kuzma potential trade. It's going to be crazy to see. And then who's untouchable, right? We're hearing things now. Things are starting to clear up. And of course, the Lakers versus Mavs with no AD tonight. Kuzma's going to step up. What this game could mean for him as well. We got some things to cover, guys. But first off, let's start off with Rob Pelinka, man, promoted to VP of basketball, operations. He was part-time president. I guess he was splitting time with, I'm not sure with if it was Linda Rambis or Kurt or who. But now, he's taking over the reins. This could only mean one thing, guys, to me, in my opinion, is that the Lakers are getting ready to make some moves. And based on what I'm hearing, everybody except for LeBron James and Anthony Davis is untouched, is basically tradable. The only untouchables are AD and LeBron. So that's crazy, right? That's what I'm starting to hear now. So that means Kyle Kuzma trade could be imminent. Now tonight, him going up against the Mavs, he's going to start at the 4. If he can have himself a big ball game, maybe it could help his either trade value or it could help him potentially stay with the Lakers, and maybe the Lakers could see the value in him. But thanks, Alex. He said, "You're the man, Dan. Appreciate you, bro." But the crazy thing is that all these things are happening right before the trade deadline. My theory is that Genie Butts is about to give Rob Pelinka the green light to go ahead and stir things up. And based on what I'm hearing, multiple reports stating that nobody's untouchable except for LeBron and AD. That's crazy. That means anything could happen. Like Danny Green could be traded, in a package with Kuz to make things, to make contracts match. Now, my question is who out there can impact the Lakers now and also maybe be, here for the future. Rob Pelinka must have his sights on somebody, or maybe he already has a trade package in the wakes, and maybe he's going to wait to see what happens tonight to see if they're going to decide to pull that through or not. Maybe it's somebody we don't even expect that's going to get traded. Like I said, maybe it could be KCP, it could be Danny Green. Hopefully not Avery Bradley, but it could be anybody. Maybe they have somebody in the wakes waiting to join the Lakers. I don't know, man. This move to me just basically it's like Genie saying, you know what, Rob, I trust you. Do what you want with the team. You put us in this position. Go for it, And also, I think this is to dispel any rumors that might arise that LeBron James and Clutch Sports run the Lakers. At least that's the way my mind works. When I start putting everything together, I think there's a potential that, they don't want the media to start with the whole LeBron narrative runs the team. If Kuzma does get traded, you're going to start hearing, people from the outside saying LeBron trades whoever he wants and blah, blah, blah. They're going to bring up that situation between LeBron, Kuzma, and Kuzma's trainer. So again, anything's possible, guys. It's going to be very interesting to see how Rob Pelinka comes in now with full authority and stirs the pot. Hopefully he doesn't do nothing too crazy because, again, you don't see number one teams in any conference make crazy trades like that. But I think, I think everything's up in the air as of right now. What's up, T? What's up, everybody? But what do you guys think, man? At least that's my theory for, Rob Pelinka becoming the vice president / GM right now and taking the reins. Those are my theories. Number one, Kuzma might actually get traded, unfortunately. Or, number two is maybe a part of a bigger package that we don't even know about. Reason number three is that they don't want, LeBron James to take the blame and then this to become a distraction if there is a trade, with the whole, LeBron James runs everything. They don't even have, a vice president or whatever. You know, I'm really believing that. So again, tonight's game crucial for Kyle Kuzma to show up. We need him, man. We need at least a 25-point game from Kuz. Show your stuff, man. Show them that if they give you consistent starter minutes, you can really do damage. So I'm really pulling for Kuz, man. I hope that that he does damage. I really do. I want him to do some crazy out there tonight. Maybe even have a career night. He's gonna need the best game of his career just to feel good about himself heading into the next couple of games. I mean, to be honest with you guys, I saw Kyle Kuzma's expression, recently in a post game interview after that last game we won at Staples, and he looked very distraught. He looked sad, man. And I felt bad for him. I was like, man, this is a guy who was once upon a time very happy and proud to be a Laker. And just like that, that joy has been taken away by for a lot of reasons. For one, he hasn't had the season, he's been hoping for. For two, there's some fickle fans out there that are ready to turn the pitchforks on him, even though we're in first place in the West, and they don't have no sort of patience. I've been preaching patience for a long time. So I don't even have to repeat myself. What did I tell you guys about Brandon Ingram, right? Look what he's doing now. Told you guys the same thing about Lonzo. People were saying they're both busts and bums. And look at them now. So that's what patience could get you. And I get it. Kyle Kuzma's a little bit older. He doesn't have the same type of ceiling, but he's still a very good young player. And it's going to be unfortunate to give him away, if we do give him away, before he even hits his peak. Because when you see him balling out on another team, it's going to hurt. I promise you that. And like I told you guys, Brandon Ingram's going to be a top 5 player in this league at some point. Man, he's balling out. And Alonzo's joining him, and I kept telling people, man, those guys are going to be special. And same thing with Kuz. I'll say the same thing. I'll stand by it. But at this point, Rob Pelinka has earned their trust, and I'm curious to see what type of move he has up his sleeve. What are you guys looking forward to? I'm heading over to the comment section right now. What would you guys like in a package in return for somebody like a Kyle Kuzma or a Danny Green, DeMarcus? We've been hearing the whole Quinn Cook, DeMarcus, Kuz package. What would be acceptable in a return? I'm curious what you guys would like to see. I know I've asked this question, but now it seems a little bit more realistic that a trade might happen. So now I'm really curious. Johnny Navas said, Amber Rose getting traded sucks, man. I like Kuz. He said Amber Rose. I feel you, bro. He said Kuzma is so special. Abilities don't trade at all. I would love for us to get Iggy. Iggy's like a 1-year Band-Aid, man. After that, who knows? I think his career might already be on the decline. Big time. He's 35. So I don't want any trades, any Band-Aid type trades. And I get it. We're trying to win a championship. But I feel like there's ways through that where we can still keep our young talent, man. The detail of did Rob pick Kuz in the draft? # patience. I'm not sure if it was Rob or Magic or both of them combined. But, yeah, you have to give credit to the front office as well. Our scouts have done great. Hey, what's up, Sharon? How you doing? He said Derrick Rose, Markieff Morris, and Luke Kennard. I mean, if those guys are even on a trade market, because remember, Derrick Rose is the Detroit Pistons' leading scorer. The Pistons actually just applied for an exception because Blake Griffin looks like he's going to be out for the season. So, I mean, Derrick Rose is probably their best commodity other than Andre Drummond. Unless they're going to sell the farm and basically tank, I don't see why they would trade Rose. But if they do go that route, if they do trade Drummond and they decide that they're tired of being a middle of the nowhere team, then yes, I would love Derrick Rose. Drew Holiday, he said De'Aaron Fox and Kuz. He said, so what's the latest on trade Stitch? Well, what I'm hearing is that everybody except for Anthony Davis and LeBron, it could be had from the Lakers. So, I mean, that's a shocking turn of events because I don't remember the last time that a number 1 team in the West was putting everybody up for sale except for the 2 superstars, right? It's like a fire sale or something. I don't know. But, look, I'm all for it as long as we get equal or better value in return. I'll be upset if we trade like we do another one of those stupid trades we've been doing in the past couple of years, like when we traded away Svi Mykhailiuk for like a 1-year Band-Aid player that ended up being going to the Knicks now. With the whole Svi trade, same thing for Zubats. Like trades like that sometimes don't work out, and you're gambling away young talent that you're going to need in the future because LeBron's not going to live forever. I know LeBron fans want him to live forever, but eventually he's going to retire, and we Laker fans still want to have a future, especially with all the draft picks we traded away. So, in my opinion, we have to tread very carefully. Yes, we want to win a championship. That is the number 1 priority on our list, but at the same time, we want to keep some sort of a core. You don't want to go out trading Thornton Tucker and Kuz and for a Band-Aid type 1 year rental. At least that's the way I see it. He said, I see us getting Robert Covington, but at what asking price, Kevin King? Because I do like Robert Covington, but is it 1-for-1? I mean, the contracts, I don't think they match up. So what would be the asking price for Robert Covington? So would you trade away Cousins, Dan, or keep him and gamble? I'd keep him, man. I like DeMarcus Cousins. I think he's going to bring something different if he's anywhere near healthy come playoff time. He's going to be another weapon to have, somebody else to sit on somebody's face, another 7-footer. So, yeah, I would keep him. Because I hated the Zubac trade and Brandon Ingram trade. Well, I didn't hate the Brandon Ingram trade for the simple reason that, yes, I hated to see him go, but I knew that Anthony Davis would elevate us to another level just like him and LeBron teaming up would do for us, right? But I understand that it hurts to see him develop and be great, but we knew it all along. We knew what we were giving up in that trade. Yo, Dan, are you doing phone calls after? Well, I mean, that's up to you guys. Last time I let you guys vote, and we barely missed the phone calls by 2%. It was 49-51 in favor of comment section only. I'll do the same today. I'll go on Twitter. I'll let you guys vote. If you guys want me to do phone calls, then I'll go ahead and do that. It's the people's channel, so it's all about you guys, man. Whatever you guys want. He said Bogdanovich is still young if you want to resign him, and he's a good player. He helps us now more, and he will be good in the future. I mean, Bogdanovich is a solid piece. I wouldn't be mad at that. DTLF, are you afraid that Cousins will get injured again in the playoff time if he is ready? I'm always scared for I'm always scared for DeMarcus because his injury history is very it's been stagnant in the last couple of years. So hopefully he can catch a break. Maybe help us raise the Larry O'Brien Trophy. That would be dope. I mean, I think he deserves it. He's been through a lot. So he said, not about patience, it's about making any moves that make us better. I mean, but it's also about patience because you don't want to do a knee-jerk reaction move that's going to make you better for a little bit and then not really push you over the hump. If it's going to make you better, you need it to push you over the hump. It needs to be something that moves the needle. Again, Drew Holiday would be dope. Zach LaVine would be fire. Robert Covington, somebody mentioned, would be dope. Bertan, somebody that could come in and make an impact. I do not want to trade Kuz away for no stupid role players that don't even show up because I'll be really pissed. And I like Rob Pelinka. He's earned my trust, but he would lose it just like that. If we trade Kyle Kuzma for like a wonky 1-year rental like Kyle Korver or some crazy, stupid, ridiculous like that, then Rob is not really doing his job properly. He needs to give us something that's going to be a long-term solution because to me, Kuz is a long-term player. I think he's going to have a bright future for years to come. So anytime you trade something like that, there needs to be a long-term solution, especially because there's no guarantee that Anthony Davis signs, right? It's not official till he's on the dotted line. So if we continue to trade away our young talent, imagine a doomsday scenario where you traded away Kuz. You obviously already gave away your young core, your young talent, and then for some reason you don't win the championship and AD decides to betray us and walk away. It wouldn't really be considered betraying us, but to me it would be a betrayal because you asked to be traded here. We gave up everything, and if he walks away, then he's going to become instantly one of my most hated players like that. But that's just the way Laker fans, that's the way we are. We're very emotional. We love you when you're with us, and we hate you when you're against us. Especially if we gave up the whole world for you. So hopefully AD, chooses to resign, but nothing's guaranteed in this league. That's why you have to be very careful. And I promise you this, if that doomsday scenario happens, God forbid, and I doubt it will happen, it's probably like a 0.99 chance that it happens. If that happens, that doomsday scenario where, AD walks, we traded Kuz away and everything, I promise you the pitchforks are coming out for LeBron. And it's not even going to be his fault. It's going to be Rob's fault because at the end of the day, he made the final decisions. But that's why I don't listen to the, LeBron stands that come on here and say, trade everybody, trade everybody. That's desperate talk. We got to be smart and we got to make sure that we make the right moves. We got to play chess, not checkers. We're in it for the long haul. He said, don't trade Kuzma and Caruso. He said, and don't trade young players and all because so near in the playoffs. He said, De'Aaron Fox for Kuzma and Rondo. I would do that because I love me some De'Aaron Fox, and I think I really hate the way that Luke Walton's utilizing him this season. He was trending upwards, and now he's kind of like stuck, in the same place he was. So I would love De'Aaron Fox. I doubt they move him. I really don't, But I'm just saying if that's a possibility, shoot. I'll throw in Thornton Tucker and a future second-round pick as well, even though I like Tucker. Not to throw his name around, but I'm just saying to sweeten up the pot, make it more realistic. He said, I'd rather keep Kuz, but De'Aaron Fox is nice. I mean, he'd be the prototypical point guard we need. You know, the type that could slash, score, play, make, super quick and athletic. He said, just get rid of Cook, Daniels, Dudley, and that's it. We'll see, man. Again, I trust Rob. I don't think he'll do something really stupid. But like I said, if he trades Kuz, I just hope is a good situation for him because I'm a fan of Kuz. Wherever he goes, I will follow him. I'm gonna follow his game individually, and that's one of my favorite young players in the league. Um, so I hope it's good for him wherever he goes. You don't want to, put him in basketball Siberia, Detroit, or somewhere like Cleveland. That would suck. But it better be good for us. That's the bottom line. Spencer Dinwiddie's dope. I do like Dinwiddie, and I think he's one of these elite six men. So yeah, that's a good piece. I didn't even think about. He's a DTLF. Maybe Horton Tucker and one guard for help at the 3 position. Again, I doubt he gets PT this year. The coach we have seems to be a veterans coach, which I'm fine with as long as we're winning. The only time you should really be desperate enough to put in young players is when you're losing, and then you got nothing to lose. You got to stir up the pot. But yeah, we'll see. He said THT is a clutch client. So we're about to blow up a roster that's in first in the West. It's BS. Now, we don't know that. It could happen, but remember, rumors, a lot of the time, they're just baloney. But this is what I'm hearing. I'm just reporting to you guys. Don't have a heart attack. I'm not saying we're going to trade everybody. I'm just saying, man, at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked if something happens because of that, because of the fact that Rob was just promoted and everything will fall squarely on his shoulders. I think there's a reason he got promoted. So maybe they have something up their sleeve. I don't know. But one thing I do know, in the short stint that Rob has been here, Rob has been a shark, man. He pretty much axed Magic Johnson. Anybody who's willing to go behind your back and talk crap about you and make you uncomfortable enough to quit when your name is Magic, Rob is a shark. So you better believe that this guy's going to be out there working the phones, trying to get the best deal he could. I don't think he's going to get bamboozled. Again, a lot of people blame Magic Johnson for those other trades with Svi and all of them. We'll see. Rob is about to prove himself. Hopefully he does. And hopefully, he goes to work. And by the way, one thing Jeannie did say in her quote, she said, he has put us, Rob, we trust him. He's made us proud. He's put us in position to compete for a championship. We're that much closer, she said. But basically, she's saying they still have work to do because she said, we're going to get to work. So I think, something might be in the works based on Jeannie Buzz's statement that was just released on Twitter. I retweeted it. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter if you guys already don't, at Dan, a Lakers fan. And by the way, again, get ready to vote because you guys will decide whether I come on live on the phone lines and open those up for you guys to give your live opinions, over the phone. Thanks, Marvelous. Appreciate you, bro. I like that name, Marvelous, man. It reminds me of the Marvelous Capcom when you used to destroy somebody and they would say Marvelous at the end. Pretty fire. He said, even B. Shaw knows it. I hope not, but I would not be surprised. Yeah, at this point, Kevin, I've lost hope as far as, hoping that we keep Kuz. Whatever happens, happens. I'm Lakers number one. I'm still a fan of Kuz, but my team comes first. But I wish him the best if he does go, man. I just want him to be somewhere where he can succeed and become that guy I know he's going to develop to be. Just like I told you guys about Brandon and Lonzo and D'Angelo and all these guys, man. I don't know. I have a good eye for talent, and when I see something special in a young player, I'd rather stay patient with him because I know he will be really, really good, for years to come. So I see the same thing in Kuz. I'm telling you guys. So I thought you were going to say vote for Caruso. Yeah, hey, again, guys, I think today they count votes as double. So Caruso is actually climbing up the charts. He has more votes than D'Lo, Devin Booker, and all these other guys. Shows you the power of Laker Nation. Go ahead and vote, guys. Vote for. I mean, if we can get Caruso in the All-Star game, it'll be a testament. I know people are going to hate on it, but it'll be a testament to the power of Laker Nation, and it'll really tell future free agents, hey, man, if they voted Caruso, and I'm trying to play there because they're going to guarantee that I make the All-Star game every year. So, future All-Stars will be looking this way even more. Now, in my opinion, those are all great recruitment tools that the fans we can get involved in starting from right now. He said, I voted today everywhere. Go for it, guys. Go for it. I voted Caruso, Dwight Howard, LeBron, Anthony Davis on one ballot, and the other one it was Kuz. I'm still going to give Kuz, even though he's not putting the numbers. I support my dude. So I voted Kuz on another ballot. AD, Caruso's a staple, though. I feel like we can potentially get him up there. I don't know. He said, "What about Gordon Dragic and Winslow and a first round pick to the Lakers?" I'm not sure what Gordon Dragic's you know, contract is, but he got paid, man. So you also want to make sure that you don't put yourself in a position to like get stuck with a contract by the time Giannis is. See, that's the thing. Any trade we do has to put us in a future position to succeed. Um, we don't want to take up the slot that Giannis could potentially take up in a max slot, right? Once LeBron's contract comes off the books, so we don't want to take any super expensive contracts, and that's to me that's the upside of Kuz. Kuz is only due like $4 million next year. He's still a bargain, you know. So he said this sucks. Help Kuzma stay. He's one of those players that are going to grow in time. I already know, bro. He said keep Kuzma and sign players who get bought out. I agree with that. I would much rather do that, but I don't know. Let's see what Rob has up his sleeve. He's a high hailing from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. Who is better, Luka Doncic or Trae Young? Right now, Luka Doncic, but I love me some Trae Young. Trae Young is flashier. He's a little bit funner to watch. He's got handles and stuff. But Luka's fun to watch as well. Does Dragic expire? Okay, that's why I said I hadn't looked at his situation. But I will say, yeah, you got to be very smart. Whatever you decide to do, he said, Dan the GM. Whoo, I would love it, man. Don't put me in a power position like that because it'll get straight to my head. Nah, I'm just playing. I'll stay humble, but nah, man. Rob Pelinka right now, he's a shark, and I think we should be happy to have him up there because when you have a GM / president of basketball ops, you want a shark. You want somebody who's looking to feast on somebody else's. Basically, somebody else's trash becomes your treasure. If you're very smart, you will be able to poach good trades away from teams. So far Rob has done a good job in free agency. Let's see what he does when the trade market opens up and all that good stuff, man. So again, this is one of the most intriguing seasons probably since I've been a Laker fan ever because a trade very well could happen. I'm like 50-50 on if that's going to happen. Also, we're number one in the West and we look very favorable for a championship contention. If we could just continue to add, in my opinion, without subtracting, that's the best course, par for the taking. But if we don't, then let's just hope that Rob Pelinka has his, he's ready to attack, man. He's a shark. Let's see. He said Trinidad is in the building. That's what's up, huh? I get super excited, man, whenever we get fans from other countries like that, man. I love it. Do you like Bertans? You know what? I do like Bertans. I really like him a lot. He's one of the few players that if we traded for him, I would not be mad. Because he gets stretched the floor and he's having a breakout year. I still think Kuz has a little bit more potential, believe it or not. But, I mean, I'm not going to be mad if we get somebody who's ready now and can also be here for the future. So Bob Myers was a former agent also. Done a great job for Golden State. Yeah, man, sometimes these agents, they just, they've been basically poaching players in free agency. Now they're doing the same thing in trade market and stuff. I mean, it must be fun. I would love to sit there and play GM and try to make the best moves for a great franchise like the Lakers. He said they say that the Mavs have an $11.7 million trade exception where they can trade for someone 11.7 or less, like Crowder, and not give up anything. That's interesting. He said, Dan, is Cousins Kuz trade? Who would you like for that price? If I'm giving up those guys, just look, Cousins could actually give you some value come playoff time. So you want to make sure you don't trade him to a playoff team, and then he can somehow, you have to face him, and then he's actually pretty decent in the playoffs. So I mean, I don't know, man. Let's just say that was a package that we had for the Kings, right? I would do if the Kings really want Kuz, give me Bogdan. And give me, Bodie. Is it Bodie? Bogdanovich, and give me either Buddy Hield and I know it's asking for a lot, but I'm a shark, right? I'm Rob Pelinka. Give me either Buddy Hield or the other guy, the power forward they drafted a couple of years ago. I forget his name. You guys know who I'm talking about, man. He's very explosive. I mean, he seems to have a bright future, And if you think about it, let's say they give us those two pieces. You got to look at their roster. It's still good for them. Let's say they keep Fox and Buddy Hield and give us Bogdanovich and not Giles, the other one. The other one, it was Bagley, Marvin Bagley. Let's say they gave us those two, right? It sounds like a lot of an asking price, but I'd be willing to throw in some more, something a little bit more. I would love Bagley, and I would love, Bodie, because let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to have De'Aaron Fox, they're going to have Buddy Hield, and they're going to have Kuzma, man. That's a nice little three. I mean, personally, me, Bogdanovich is not enough for me for Kuz. Because look, think about it. You give up Bogdanovich or Kuz, and I know he has better stats right now or whatever, but he's on a losing team. It's easier to average more stats on a losing team than to average those same stats on this winning team, being the third option or fourth option coming off the bench. Now, listen, hear me out. If you give up Kyle Kuzma to the Sacramento Kings for just Bogdanovich, guess what you have now? Guess what they have? They have De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield. They have that one guy, Marvin Bagley. And guess what? They have Kuzma. So now they have a nice little young core that you help form. Now you help form two young cores, one with the Pelicans and one with the Kings. And guess what? They're going to kill you in the future, especially when LeBron retires. Those are going to be nightmares. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So you got to be really smart. It's like, okay, I'll give you a future. You'll have a nice little big three right there with Buddy Hield, since they thought he was the next Curry or whatever. Fox and Kuz, who can get buckets, right? That's your little big three. Give us, Marvin Bagley, who you guys have underdeveloped anyways. Doesn't matter where he was drafted. You don't know how to use him properly. And he's always injured so far. And then give us a shooter that we need, and we'll throw in a little something, for your troubles, and maybe a second round pick. I don't know. You got to be a shark, right? You're Rob Pelinka. Show me your fins, bro. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, I know it sounds like asking for a lot, but you're talking about a losing team. Anytime you're trading with a losing team, their trade value should go down a little bit, because obviously those players aren't impact players if you're on a losing team, right? So, I mean, that's just my opinion. That's how I feel. Hey, Glenn is right. Thank you, bro, for the donation. He said, BI is now making the players around him better. What about low IQ Kuzma? Dudes doesn't even have playmaking ability. Dude lacks intelligence on the ball court. Well, I'll tell you what. I guarantee you, had we had traded Kuz and kept Brandon Ingram, obviously Brandon will be killing here with us, but his numbers wouldn't be the same. They'd probably be cut in half, to be honest with you, bro. We have to be objective. We have to look at everything. Kuz isn't getting the same kind of shots. Brandon Ingram has the ultimate green light. Kuz, when he's gotten hot, guess what? He gets yanked straight to the bench. He's on a minute restriction. Brandon Ingram doesn't have that, man. He's on a young team where, their number one overall pick has been injured all year. We can't track Kuz like that. We can't be, narrow-sighted and say, oh, he's not putting up the numbers that Brandon Ingram. That's a very simple basketball analysis right there. That's like comparing apples to oranges. You can't compare the number one option on one team to the number 3 or 4 option on another. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about opportunity, man. The NBA is about opportunity. And by the way, Ingram is better than Kuzma because his ceiling was always better than Kuzma. He's more athletic. He's longer. His wingspan's bigger. His face-up game is better. His handles are better. He always was going to be better than Kuzma, but that's why they asked for him. That was the number one piece you had to include in the package. Don't believe the rumors that said that we could have included either Kuz or Ingram. Don't be so gullible. No GM in the league was going to trade away Anthony Davis without Ingram included in the package. So you're beating on a dead horse. Again, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. But let's not beat on a dead horse, man. There was no way we could have got Anthony Davis without giving up Brandon Ingram, period. So what's the point of beating on your own player, who, by the way, is the third option on your team, who's, battled injury? And again, I'm not trying to make excuses for him. Tonight he has a chance to show himself. If he has a bad game tonight, no excuses, man. Just bad on you, Kuz, because it's your chance to show your stuff. But what I'm saying is, why batter a player who you traded away for a superstar? Think about that. You got a superstar in return. Don't compare Brandon Ingram to Kuz. Compare Brandon Ingram to Anthony Davis and where that has us versus where Brandon Ingram is in the standings. By those numbers alone, you should be happy. We're the number one team in the West. We have the top 2 1-2 punch, and we have a young piece in Kuz. I mean, remember, they said we couldn't get this deal done without including Kuzma in the package. So if anything, we should be happy that we kept Kuz instead of upset, Glenn is right. Thank you again, bro. He said, dude does not pass the ball even when he's in the game with AD. He doesn't even play the pick and roll game with AD. No IQ. It's not even his IQ. Again, you know what it is? I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Put yourself in Kuzma's shoes, man. All right? All your teammates, everybody you built chemistry for your first two and a half years or whatever, everybody you built chemistry with just got traded away. Now you're not starting. You started for most of last season. Now all of a sudden you're coming off the bench. Anthony Davis is going to take 20-plus shots a game, and so is LeBron, and you have to eat somewhere between the middle of that, right? And on top of that, if you start off wrong, guess what? You're going to get yanked because coach is holding you to a higher standard. Now you're on a championship contender. Put all these things together. Don't just look at the numbers. Seriously, you have to put everything together, man. And you have to think, well, Kuzma's actually played pretty well based on everything that's working against him. And then on top of that, these rumors with the agent and all that, if you notice, he was balling before the agent rumors came up. Remember, Christmas, he had that 25-point game. He was the leading scorer on a team with LeBron and Anthony Davis on a huge game, a national TV, right? And then all of a sudden, these rumors come out that, Kuzma's agent said this. That's hard for a young player to take, man. Now you got to answer questions for Kuzma's, not his agent. Is it his agent or is his trainer or whatever? Now all of a sudden, you have to answer questions for that. You're talking about 24-year-old, man. 24-year-old on the number one team in the West. You're supposed to be the third option. So you know what I'm saying? Like, all in all, like, we have to be patient with young talent. You have to. Remember, this is only Kuzma's third year. Brandon Ingram was in the league. This is his fourth year. I've told you guys it takes him about 3 to 4 years to reach their peak. It took Brandon Ingram to this year. This is his fourth year. Give Kuzma at least one more year before you're really harsh on him. I'm telling you guys right now. And by the way, we don't need Kuzma to be a playmaker. Well, we need Kuzma to score. He's supposed to be a spark plug off the bench. And when he does it extremely well. When he's felt good, when there's no trade rumors and he's come back from injury, he was balling out. Let's not forget that. Nobody here in the comment section will say nothing negative about Kyle Kuzma. But it's just, we just, I guess we live in a world where what have you done for me lately? And if you did great things for me, I was there live when Kuzma scored 43 points in 3 quarters. I was there live. I seen what the kid could do, man. If you give him the green light, you believe in him, you give him that encouragement as a GM, boom, he's going to perform for you. 43 points in 3 quarters. That's not something you just sneeze out. That's not an accident. That's because that's what the type of player he is. But guess what, man? Guess what? Everything changed in one season for Kyle Kuzma. He went from being a starter to a bench player. He went from being maybe a top 2 option to being the 3rd or 4th option on the team. He went from one coach to another. I mean, you got to take everything into consideration, man. I've been watching basketball for such a long time, and I can tell you, man, it's not easy for these young players just to adapt like that. If it was a vet, then you hold them to a higher standard for sure. But for young players, man, you have to be patient, and you have to know that Kyle Kuzma hasn't even hit his ceiling yet, believe it or not. I'll take one more question, though, before I get off, guys. Got to go get ready for this game. By the way, great talk tonight, man. This is a fiery chat tonight. These are my favorite ones we've done. I mean, we talked about trade rumors. We talked about Pelinka getting promoted. The game tonight, really haven't touched much on that. But what are the keys to tonight's game? We need everybody to step up, especially Kyle Kuzma. I'm looking at you, Kuz. Tonight, you got to prove me right, man. Prove me right. Prove me that no amount of pressure, no amount of trade rumors, nothing can stand in your way. All you need is opportunity. Because when opportunity meets a baller like Kuz, you're going to see exactly what type of hooper he is tonight. Now, if he don't hoop tonight, man, I can't make no excuses for him. I can't even defend him. This is what I've been waiting for. I've been wanting Kuz to start. He's going to get his first start of the season. He's going to become the 2nd or 3rd option. Depends on where LeBron sees him as tonight. If he gets the ball a lot, then he's going to become the 2nd option. But we're going to need him tonight. And so, just to get all that off my chest, guys, great questions and everything, man. I love it. No excuses. Kuz, we need at least 20 to 25 piece from you, at least. I know you're capable of more, but give me a 20 to 25 piece, and I'll be happy, especially with a victory. But it's going to be a tough game. Dallas is coming out here, man. They're hungry. They smell the blood in the water. They know that we don't have AD tonight, so just look for, Doncic to try to have a monster game. Hopefully LeBron can match him there as well. And all in all, I expect us to win tonight. But thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Thanks for the questions, the comments, the likes, all that good stuff, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button if you already have it, and subscribe if you already have it as well. And I will see you guys here for postgame. Now, I'm putting up the Twitter poll probably like 10 minutes after I get off this video once I set it all up to see if you guys want me to come on live and answer phone calls today. So you guys decide. It's your channel. I'm only here as your humble servant. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys for the postgame recap. Peace out, Laker Nation.